cloudy evening here in Seattle, the Emerald City, as the Mariners wrap up day 4 with the world champion San Francisco Giants down at Safeco Field. Glad you joined us, everybody, for Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims and Mike Flowers and the Root Sports crew on hand here on a cloudy evening with Mike Montgomery, who has really shined since being called up to the ball club. He'll get to start against the veteran right-hander Ryan Vogelsong. Let's take a look at the Giants batting order for tonight.
Some changes for manager Bruce Bochy. Aoki going to lead things off in his panic. Pagan will hit third. Posey the DH tonight batting cleanup. Matt Duffy, the only Giant with more than one hit in last night's ball game. And here comes the change belt. He will hit 6th. Tusak, the catcher, will hit 7th. Then it's Maxwell and Arias, the shortstop, rounding out the 9 for the Giants. For Montgomery on the air, he's really pitched well. 101 record, but a 1.89 ERA. 11 strikeouts over the 19 innings that he has pitched. Opponents hitting .214 against him.
Changes in the Mariner lineup. Food poisoning knocked out Kyle Seager. Stiff lower back for Robinson Cano. Willie Bloomquist gets the start at third. Ackley playing at second base for the first time since the 21st of September in the year 2013. And Cruz, he's a little under the weather tonight as well. First pitch in there for a strike. Nori Aoki. Having outstanding here, hitting .317. Home plate umpire tonight, John Twinpan. James Hoy at first, John Hirschbeck at second, Bill Welke at third. Cruz not at 100%, but he originally slated to be in right field. He's DHing now. Logan Morrison was going to get the night off as the DH, but he's at first base. Here's Tapper to Lomo, and he wins the race to the bag.
And we'll take a look at our American Family Insurance defensive setup. Seth Smith in left field, Jackson in center, Trumbo getting the start in right field. Willie will be at third base. Then you have Miller and Ackley playing up the middle. Logan Morrison at first. Mike Zunino will do the catching. And we'll take a look at this last play. Logan really timed it well. He waited to get a decent hop, and then he charged the ball and was able to beat Aoki to the bag at first. For Montgomery, he has a good fastball. He'll be 90 to 92 miles an hour. Also mix in a changeup. That's an off-speed pitch that he will use the most. And you also see a curveball, an occasional slider.
A lot of poise, Mike. A lot of poise.
Yeah, we've seen that from him. And the thing that I've enjoyed is there's been times when he's been in trouble. Unflappable made some good pitches and been able to get himself out of some trouble that he's been in this year.
Panic. Pops one short center field. Here comes Austin Jackson, 2 down. Take a look at our lows. Never stop improving, and we've been raving about Mike Montgomery for a good reason. Look at this.
6 innings, just 4 hits. 7 innings against the Rays, 5 hits. Then against the Astros, we all saw what kind of damage they can do. Just 6 hits over the 6 innings that he pitched against them. On his 3 starts, he'll use his fastball about 60% of the time. Again, his changeup, his best off-speed pitch. You see that about 21%, 16% on the curveball. And again, rarely uses the slider at all.
First pitch strike to switch hitting center fielder Angel Pagan. Pagan could feel the shadow of 6'5" Justin Maxwell converging on him last night. Went up, and it can happen to anybody. He alligator armed that fly ball. It's a ball he makes a million times. Dropped in for the Mariners, and things worked out for Seattle.
No, I think he assumed that he had it tracked, and he thought he was going to make the catch anyway, but all of a sudden he looked up, and that's when he saw Maxwell, and the ball fell in, fortunately for the Mariners.
Base hit, center field. A lot of Giant fans in the house again tonight. 2-out base runner for San Francisco. It's going to bring up Buster Posey. Brings up Posey. Boy, the offensive force for this ball club during their championship runs here. Seeing him DH tonight, seeing him catch and play first base. It's 4 days.
Having a good year, 293 with the 9 home runs.
Gets away from Zunino. Pagan will hold. 2-0. A couple of streaks go by the wayside tonight. Iron Man streaks. Freddie Freeman of the Braves. 234 consecutive games started. Wrist injury out. Number 2, Kyle Seager. 192 consecutive games out.
Wrist injury sounds serious, so I doubt that Freeman will get in the game.
Ground ball hit to Ackley. Beats to Miller. And the Giants are gone in the first inning. Good to have you with us here at Safeco Field. Giants, the defending world champions. Nothing in the Mariners coming about. Logan Morrison has been a nice little boost to the Mariners in the leadoff position. Got a .281 batting average when Lloyd puts him in the one spot with a .343 on-base percentage. Here's a look at the rest of the batting order for the Mariners.
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Chevron. Following Morrison, it will be Austin Jackson. What a June he is having. .345 average with 6 doubles, a couple of triples, including the triple last night. Cruz, the DH, hits third. Then it's Smith, Trumbo, and Miller in the middle of the lineup. Willie Bloomquist will hit 7th, Ackley 8th, and Zunino rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. For Vogelsong, tough year, 4.81 ERA, 49 strikeouts to 29 walks. Opponents hitting .257. He's given up 10 home runs this year. And he has really struggled on the road. A 6.31 ERA on the road this year. Look for the left-handers to do the damage. Lefty's hitting .294 with 9 home runs out of the 10 that he has given up this year.
Vogelsong out of Charlotte, North Carolina, lives in suburban Philly, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Those numbers, we'd love to change those. Mariners going to try to add to it.
Or Vogelsong, pretty good fastball. He'll be 90 to 91 miles an hour with his fastball. He uses his cutter quite a bit. That pitch will be about 88. Also mix in a curveball and a changeup.
Vogelsong joined the Giants in 2011 after spending some time in Japan. Prior to that, he was in Pittsburgh. Actually, he joined the Giants his first stint back in the year 2000. That was Bochy in his 9th year. 3 World Series titles, 10, 12, and 14. How good was last night's game? I mean, and it lived up to the billing. You got Felix Hernandez against Madison Bumgarner. There's Felix. Threw a wonderful game last night. Had a chance to talk to Bumgarner, young man from North Carolina. He said, "You threw a nice ball game last night." "Yes, sir. I wish I had had a chance to swing the bat." I said, "You and Felix, both of you guys." He said, "I'd love to see what he had."
Not sure he wants to see what Felix had last night. He was special last night. Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Giants this evening. Aoki in left field. Pagan is in center. Justin Maxwell getting the start in right. Matt Duffy, the third baseman. Arias getting his first start of the 4 games at shortstop. Panik and Belt on the right side of the infield. Susak will do the catching. Posey, the DH tonight.
As a fan, those are the kind of matchups you live for, and you've played in a lot of those. McClendon, Lloyd McClendon, talking about when he was with Pittsburgh, you'd get Doug Drabek against Doc Gooden when he was in Chicago, Rick Sutcliffe against Brett Saberhagen, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, those are special nights. But you said it too. A lot of times they won't live up to that. Typically, one of the two pitchers will have a bad night. And that was not the case last night.
Man.
They both pitched extremely well.
Talking to Giants people, the point we were talking about last night, the way Bumgarner went after the left-handers with almost like total disdain. He said he went after him like a football player. Never played football. Baseball coach wouldn't let him. Didn't want him to get hurt. But he said he would have been at the face. I'd have been a good defensive end. So that's how you attacked last night.
Yeah, 6'5".
Yeah.
You see his numbers from last night. He went 8 innings, just 4 hits. Mariners able to get a couple of runs off him, and that was the difference in the ball game. Felix was just a little bit better last night. I was so impressed with Felix. We talked about it at the start of the game, how aggressive the Giants were, and Felix will typically make an adjustment to that. He was able to do it. A lot of first pitch strikes, doing it with all of his pitches. His curveball, I thought, was exceptional last night.
Great to see that bounce back. Worst start of his career in Houston. Solidly hit, but Paddock makes an outstanding play. 2 down.
I don't think anybody was surprised to see Felix bounce back the way that he did. He's done that a lot, especially over the last couple of years. We talked about Austin Jackson in the June that he's having. 345 average in June, and he hits this ball right on the button. Give the second baseman Panik a lot of credit, taking this base hit away from Jackson. Good look at him going to an in or Alaska Supermo.
Two outs brings up Nelson Cruz. 3 for 22 on the road trip. Well, it's a bad road right now. 0 for 14. Boy, Giant fans making a lot of noise. Cruz 0 for 3 against Vogelsong.
You never know. You mentioned it. Cruz under the weather. Originally was going to be in right field. Now he's the DH. And you mentioned 0 for 14, Dave. I think sometimes when you're not feeling well, you're a little more relaxed and you're just trying to get through the evening. And sometimes you can have some good nights when you're not feeling your best. Hopefully that will be the case for Cruz tonight.
Maybe not overthink it.
You don't overthink it. You don't try to do too much. Again, you're trying to help your club out and not do too much.
Last home run was that big one at Tampa Bay on May 27th. 1-1 pitch off the end of the bat.
Sometimes you feel that maybe you don't have your legs underneath you, so you're not going to overswing. And for Cruz, with the power that he has, he just needs to get it on the barrel. Obviously, when he's feeling good and he gets all of it, he can hit it out of the stadium. But let's get the barrel to it, still be enough to get it out of the ballpark.
Play him straight away and deep in the outfield. 1-2.
There you go.
Might be enough. Maxwell not fast enough to get there. Well placed by Cruz. A base hit. There goes that 0 for 14. Bye-bye.
Might be the start of a good night for him. Pretty good pitch from Vogelsong. This pitch is off the plate away, just off the outside corner. It looked like a cutter. Cruz able to stay with it, dump it down the right field line.
He's the 5th leading hitter in the American League. 309 coming into that at bat. Tied for 2nd in home runs.
Mariners have some hitters with experience against Vogelsong. Seth Smith, one of them, 375 with 3 doubles.
Vogelsong with 1 start here at Safeco Field. It was a victory. 1-1 against the Mariners. His 3rd start. 1-1 to Seth. Vogelsong, 37 years old. Made the All-Star team in 2011. Just inside with the fastball. Houston Astros come to town for weekend series, and they'll be followed by the defending American League champion, Kansas City Royals, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Coming up on the BP show, Saturday's batting practice show, we'll be talking about the All-Star ballot. Gary Hill and Aaron Goldsmith will be talking with Brad Adam and Dave Valley about that. Get your votes in for your Mariners. If not, it's going to be all Kansas City inside the Smitty, 3-2.
If you didn't know, you can vote 35 times.
It's legal. Mark Trimbo on deck. Cincinnati 1957. That'll be in part of the discussion. The Oakland Athletics back in the day. And Omar Garcia Parra back in 1999. So makes for good conversation with baseball as a nation. It really hacks some people off, boy, I'll tell you. Two outs. Cruz at first. He's going to take off. 3-2 pitch. And now Vogelsong steps off. Astros, by the way, won 8-4 today at Colorado behind Colin McHugh, who goes to 7-3. Angels won at Arizona 7-1, and the Athletics lost at home to San Diego 3-1. 3-2 to Seth. Slicing drive in the gap. Aoki is there to make the catch. The win and the slice affected that one. And the Mariners strand a runner. Second inning coming up. News. Nelson Cruz is currently second in the DH category. So vote for Nelson up to 35 times on the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at Mariners.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote at Mariners.com. Cruz with a base hit in the first inning. A chance to recover from some cold symptoms. Matt Duffy looks at ball one. Matt Duffy, Brendan Belt, Andrew Suzak, 5, 6, and 7 for the defending world champions. Duffy 2 for 4 last night, 3 for 4. Tuesday afternoon's ball game, hit a 2-run homer and had an RBI single in the 8th. Ball changed direction about 4 times for Austin Jackson.
He's going to have to stay with it. Wind is swirling around here in the stadium. Thought it was important for Montgomery to throw strikes, command strikes, and especially early in the ball game. A young pitcher. When you look at the Giants, they are second in batting average. So I felt that they were going to try to make him work a little bit. So good sign for him to throw strikes. Once you're able to establish that, they'll be a little more aggressive with him. Probably start to see his changeup, curveball a little bit more.
Strike one to Brendan Belt, the first baseman. One. Good pitch.
Good curveball.
Montgomery out front, 1-2. Went back to it, can not make it work. The Giants from here will go to play at the Dodgers for 3 days, have a day off, and then San Diego and Colorado. Visit them by the bay. And 2. Andrew Suzak, catcher's on.
And so far, Mike Montgomery sticking to the game plan against Belt. Mariners over 3 games pretty much pitched him away. Just trying to keep everything on the outside part of the plate.
Spike that one. Went out walk. Another good crowd on hand here. 34,844 last night. And it's going to be 30,000 plus again here this evening. Penn jamming early. Back around 4:15, 4:30. Strike one to Suzak. That caught in Tuesday's game, a Giants 6-2 victory. Went 1 for 3. Montgomery ahead. Mariners infield: Blomquist, Miller, Ackley, and Morrison, with Smith, Jackson, and Trumbo in the outfield. All 2 strikes. Mike Zunino behind the plate. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rick Waits very impressed by what his young left-hander has done. Coming up, having been obtained from Tampa Bay late March. Base hit, left field, 2 on, 1 out.
Going to be a fastball, 92 miles an hour, just above the belt. Suzak able to get on top of that and drive it into left field. Good look at our Alaska Supermo. Actually jammed him a little bit.
1 out, 2 on. Rick Wade's gone out. Talk to Montgomery. Seemed like he's getting ahead and then nibbling, and it's got him in trouble with the walk. He was ahead of Belt, and he was ahead of Susak. Quick message from Rick.
Yeah, he's throwing strikes. 27 pitches now, 17 strikes, and 7 batters faced 5 first pitch strikes. So he's doing a good job of getting ahead of them.
We're talking about Angel Pagan seeing the shadow of Justin Maxwell. He's 6'5", 225. A big play in last night's ball game that produced the 2 runs in the 6th. There's Pagan, and Pagan's about 5'11", $175. Two and 0. Let's see if Montgomery can execute the message that Rick Waits just brought out to him. Foul. Maxwell moved around a little bit. He's 31 years old. 4th round pick of the Nationals in the 05 draft out of the University of Maryland. 3-1. Maxwell, 3 years with Washington, 2 with KC, 2 with Houston in his first year now with the Giants.
I'm talking about this at the start of the game with Mike Montgomery. At times he's been effectively wild, and right now he's struggling a little bit, and it seems that that's happened to him in all 3 of his starts where he's had an inning. Things have struggled.
Seth Smith will get it back in quickly. They go station to station. Base hit. Maxwell. Bases are loaded. 1 out for Joaquin Arias. So a fly ball to center, and then a walk, and 2 singles to left.
Another fastball, 91 miles an hour, middle in. Mike Zunino walking back out to the mound with Montgomery. Pretty simple message. Get a ground ball, you can get out of the trouble right here with a double play ball.
Arias playing at shortstop tonight, just his 29th game. Brendan Crawford getting the night off. Right in front, strike 1.
I think that will be interesting as the double play if it started by Brad Miller. Watching Dustin Ackley try to turn it at second again. He hasn't played second base until September of 2013 is the last time he played second.
1-1 the count.
Watch him take some ground balls during batting practice.
I think he's going through a couple anxious moments right now, not having turned one in a while.
Yeah, I think he's just, there's a lot he's probably trying to process. There we go.
Oh, they get the out. Dropped on the transfer. Run scores. 1-0. Giants. Oh boy.
The fielder's choice RBI for Arias.
Scoring on a play is Belt.
Well, he handles this ground ball fine. The ball ends up jamming Arias. He didn't hit it hard at all. And you can see Dustin, he comes in and gets it. Easy flip to Brad, and it was just on the exchange. He dropped it on the exchange. Looks like he's in good shape till right there.
Arias picks up the RBI, his second of the season. Runners at the corners and 2 outs.
Dustin did everything right out at second base on that ground ball.
Two outs. Runners at the corners brings up Aoki as we get back to the top of the order. Wind blowing in pretty well from left field. Base hit right field. Scoring is Susak. Going to third is Arias. Giants have a 2-0 lead. Aoki with his 18th RBI.
This is going to be a fastball. Pretty good fastball, 93 miles an hour. Unfortunately, it is in the middle of the plate. Won't be able to square it up.
Brings up Joe Panik, second time. Panik flying out to center field. Well, this can't be easy in your own ballpark, getting hooted down by Giant fans. Montgomery's got to really bear down here. Seventh man to the plate here in the second inning. Should have been out of the inning.
Well, that's the unfortunate part. Would have been able to get off the field if they would have been able to turn the double play. Instead, now they have 2 runs on the board, and they continue to add to the pitch count of Montgomery. He is now at 38 pitches as he works here in the second inning.
That missed. Mariner pitching last night didn't allow a Giants runner to get to third base. Last evening only allowed 2 runs. 2 runners to get to second base last evening. Felix with bullpen help. Charlie Furbush for 2/3 of an inning and the save to Carson Smith. That's hit hard. That was a fair ball into the corner. Arias scores. Aoki gets a stop sign. RBI double Joe Panik. 3-0 Giants. Panik with his 16th double, his 26th RBI.
That's another fastball. This one on the inside corner. Pretty good hitting by Panik to keep the ball fair. Hit right off the chalk. Good look at our Alaska Supermo where that ball hit, right in the middle of the line.
3-0. Runners at second and third. Pagan will be the 8th man to the plate as Vidal Nuno starts to heat up.
.27 pitches in the inning.
Right to Jackson, and there you have it. So the Giants get 3 runs on 4 hits, leave a couple, and have a 3-0 lead. Of Washington. You're in for a lot of reasons with Delta Dental by Steel. To find your local Steel dealer, visit steeldealer.com. and by Audi, Truth, and Engineering. Always lots of good eats here at Safeco Field. Right now, the Mariners on the short end, 3-0 to the defending world champion Giants. Leading off is Mark Trumbo. He's seen Vogelsong before from their encounters in the National League. He's 3 for 13 with a home run. Foul ball. Trumbo, Miller, and Blomquist 5, 6, and 7 for the Mariners. Two. Just outside, 1 and 2. Giants playing Trumbo straight away and deep in the outfield. Straight up in the infield as well. Outside, 2 and 2.
It's really unfortunate for Lloyd and the Mariners tonight to not have Seager and Cano in the lineup with the numbers against Vogelsong that the lefties have put up this year. He's given up 10 home runs, 9 of them from left-handers, and lefties also hitting .294. So the Mariners tonight, just 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup. You can see right there, he's going to work on the righties with that good cut fastball, trying to throw it off the edge of the plate.
RBIs by Arias, Aoki, and Panic. Top half of this inning. Straight back. Count remains at 2 and 2. Just below us.
Really would be a huge lift for the Mariners if they get Mark going in the right direction. We saw enough of him when he was with the Angels and the damage that he can do.
Two pitch. Slicing drive right field. Maxwell's under it. One out. I'll bring up Brad Miller. Right 0 for 3 in last night's ball game. We mentioned almost 35,000 last night here at Safeco Field, and it's another big house here with Giants in town. Houston and Kansas City still to come on this homestand. The Mariners hit the road again. Angels, Padres, and the Oakland Athletics. 3 with the Angels, 2 with San Diego, and 4 with Oakland. When that Oakland series ends, we'll be into July and a week away from the All-Star break. Arias fields it cleanly. Goes out Miller for out number 2. 2 down here in second. It's copyrighted telecast. This is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. It's Willie Blomquist. 2 outs here in the second. Willie getting his second start at third base tonight.
Only 62 at bats on the year for Willie.
15th start overall.
So one nice thing for him is he had to start in left field last night, so he's going to get an opportunity to put a few at bats together. Tough job having to sit for a week at a time and get an opportunity to play and be productive. He's had a pretty good career doing that, though.
Yes, he has. Glad to see him come back off of that leg injury from last year. That was tough. Right knee contusion. Went on the DL last July 24th.
I talked to him the other day. He said his legs feel great.
Fouls out and right into the glove of Suzak. Ball 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the second. Giants with a 3-0 lead. Last 38 games, Lloyd McClendon's ball club, 19-19. Two. Talked to Lloyd the other day, forever the optimist, and looking at his ball club saying, hey, it's coming. I'm telling you, just got to hang in there. Some kind of offensive explosion's coming. Can't pinpoint when, but he still has a lot of faith in these guys. A ton of faith.
I think a lot of it is he's going by resumes, you know.
Squibber goes to Pack. 1-2-3 go the Mariners in the second. 3-0 San Francisco. On Filipino Heritage Night. And we focus in on Bobby Balsena, first big league player of Filipino ancestry. Played with the 56 Reds, 7 games, he went 0 for 2. 1948 minor league career game, started in Mexicali in 48, ended in Vancouver in 62. Played for the Rainiers, 55 to 57. Good batting average of 291. 1956. So he had a cup of coffee with the Reds. I think 56 was the first year of Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. There's Buster Posey. Bounces one to Blomquist. And he throws him out. One away. Giants sent 8 men to the plate in the second inning, scoring 3 times on 4 hits, and they left 2.
We talked about it with Mike. In his first 3 starts, he's been able to work deep into games, and if he's going to do that, he needs a couple of efficient innings. 13 pitches in the first, but came back through 28 in the second.
There's Matt Duffy, the third baseman, flying out to center. Up the middle. Ackley, first game at second base in 2 years. Nice play. Robinson Cano out with a stiff left lower back. Hey, treat your dad to a day at the ballpark this Father's Day. Be on hand at Safeco Field this Sunday. Mariners host the Astros. First 10,000 dads take home a Mike Zunino barbecue apron courtesy of EQC. For tickets, visit mariners.com. A quick 2 outs here in the top of the third brings up Brandon Belt. Walked and scored in the second inning. Hits this one high and deep to center field, but Jackson is settling under it. 1 foot on the track. 5-pitch inning for Mike Montgomery. Just what the doctor ordered. 3-0 Giants. Night tomorrow, 7:10. Mariners host the Astros, and you can take photos with more than 30 characters from the movies, plus join in on the fun. Dress for the part. Star Wars costume contest. Night caps off with post-game fireworks at the Star Wars soundtrack, so get your tickets at mariners.com. Here's Dustin Ackley to lead it off for the Mariners. Shows bunt and takes ball 1. Ackley, Zunino, and Morrison 8-9-1 here for the Mariners. Third inning.
Duffy, the third baseman for the Giants, he's playing even with the bag, but he's also playing off the line. I think Dustin, that's the reason why he showed bunt.
1-1.
Tough play for a third baseman. If you get it on the line for him to come in barehanded and have to throw all the way back across his body, and you can see how much room he's giving him.
Oh, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called, 1 out. First strikeout for Bulbason.
90 miles an hour on the outside corner. Pretty good job by Susak to frame that strike from the home plate umpire, John Champagne.
Here's up Mike Zunino. He was a generator in the 6th inning last night for the Mariners. Had an 8-pitch at bat, single to left. And came around and scored on the Jackson RBI triple. Cano then drove in Jackson with a double down the right field line.
You mentioned the 8 pitches. They were quality pitches too, and even the base hit he had, like it was on the cutter, started off the plate away, ended up on the outside corner, and he stayed with it. Was able to hit it hard into left field.
So it's some athleticism and some elasticity
Yeah,
avoiding the tag at the plate.
That was a great slide.
That wasn't easy. A nice job. Laid off that pitch. Count goes to 3-0. There's a strike. Toronto rampaging again. 7-1 win at home against the Mets. Bartolo Colon, R.A. Dickey started first time since Maddox and Moyer in 2008 that two pitchers beyond the age of 40 started against each other. Let's hear it for the old guys. Yeah. Fouled it in Susak's glove. 3-2. Yankees 9-4 over Miami. Alex Rodriguez 2 for 4. One away from career hit number 3,000. He also drove in a run. Saw Mike Stanton take a pitch outside from CC Sabathia and hit it out of the ballpark. As Zunino, Giancarlo Stanton as Zunino. He too called out on strike.
Vogelsong continues to work the outside corner. Take a look at this last pitch right off the outside corner. Something that was interesting on Brandon Belt when he flew out to center field. We talked about the wind tonight. It's cooling down in here and it's swirling in the ballpark. Belt thought that he had it. You could tell when he hit first base, he dropped his head, disappointed that the ball didn't get out of here. So if you're going to hit it, I think from probably left center to center field, you're going to have to get all of it.
Almost grounded out to first on a 3-1 pitch. 1-1.
Good changeup.
One pitch. In there for a strike.
Talking about Vogelsong and his struggles, especially on the road. He's doing a pretty good job with his fastball, working both sides of the plate, keeping it on the edges. Not many pitches in the middle of the plate. Typically, if it is, it's going to be something off speed. And right back to the outside corner.
Strike three. All three guys looking third inning. 3-0 Giants here at Safeco Field. Light Silver Bullet Saturday is this weekend. The first 400 fans 21 and older in the pen during early happy hour receive a Silver Bullet Saturday t-shirt and extended happy hour pricing until first pitch. Plus, fans will have the opportunity to win autographed Mariners merchandise, tickets, and more. Ryan Bogasong, he might have been having some troubles on the road. Boy, he looks sharp tonight, striking out the side. All three guys looking in the third.
Well, the last inning, the third inning, he was impressive with his fastball location. The last two pitches to Logan Morrison, both of them perfect pitches. One on the inside corner, and then came right back and painted one on the outside corner.
Bottom third of the order. Andrew Susak chops one foul. They did some damage in the second inning as 8 men came to the plate. Susak singled and scored. Maxwell got a single. And fielder's choice RBI for Arias. Way out front 0-2.
Didn't take long for Mike Montgomery to get his pitch count back in order. For 28 pitches in the second inning, he comes right back in the third with just 5. He's in good shape again.
Bouncing ball to Willie. Lundqvist throws him out. Houston Astros coming to town. Our CenturyLink What's Next? The Mariners 1-2 here at home against Houston. Lance McCullers, Roenis Elias. We're going to see Dallas Keuchel for the first time. He'll go against Taijuan Walker. And Vincent Velasquez goes against Jay Happ. This is a series Mariners got to get 2 out of 3.
We saw McCullers in Houston. He has a good arm. A little bit wild when we saw him in Houston, so I'll be curious to see what he brings to the table this next time around. Keuchel, we know it's going to be you're going to see a lot of ground balls when he's on the mound. Haven't seen Velasquez.
Astros winning their ball game in Colorado today by the count of 8-4. So the Astros, that's their 40th win. The only other team beyond 40, the St. Louis Cardinals, they have the best record in baseball. Long foul off the bat of Maxwell. Maxwell with a single to left field on a 3-1 count back in the second inning. Arias drove in a run with a fielder's choice RBI and then singles by Aoki. Double by Panic. Two pitch. Fouled off. Mariners to this point have been held to 1 hit. Nelson Cruz with a bloop single to right. Ryan Bogasong has struck out 3. Retired the last 7 men that he's faced. Here's the 2-2. Struck him out. Good pitch by Montgomery. His first strikeout of the evening. 2 away.
Right after the fastball inside, he speeds him up. Really good changeup, just 81 miles an hour. Maxwell well out in front of it. Good look at our Alaska Supermo. You can see how far out in front he was on the changeup. Arias skies one. Right field. Here comes Trumbo, and another fishing inning by Mr. Montgomery. 1, 2, 3 go the Giants. He's retired the last 7 that he's faced. A 3-0 Giant lead.
difference of the ball game. Double play that wasn't, and proved to be costly. This opened the door for Aoki to come up and deliver an RBI single. And then Joe panicked. He followed with the double into the right field corner, and the Giants built a 3-0 lead. Let's see what the Mariners can do against Ryan Vogelsong now. He is retired. The last 7 men that he's faced. Breaking ball for strike. Austin Jackson grounded out to second.
Hit the ball hard his first time up. See if he can get things started for the Mariners. Again, having a really good June, hitting .345 in the month of June.
Ball one. Jackson, Cruz, and Smith 2-3-4 here in the 4th inning for the Mariners.
See if the Mariners can get a couple of base runners out there. Have Vogelsong work out of the stretch for a little bit. Mariners have had just the one base runner, and that was off the base hit with 2 outs in the first from Cruz.
1-2 strikes. One-two pitch. Stays alive.
Interesting to watch him. When he gets ahead, those 2 strikes, he's going immediately to the outside corner. He's had such good command of his fastball tonight. He's been able to get it there. That pitch, not a bad pitch on the corner. He elevated it a little bit, which helped Austin out.
Here comes the 1-2. Laid off at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're talking about Houston picking up win number 40 earlier today. The Astros didn't get to the 40th victory last year until make that July 12th. They were 40-55 at that point. They're 40-28 now. 2-2. Center field, Pagan racing over to the gap, makes the catch, and there's 1 out.
We'll take a look at Vogelsong and how he operates. You see the fastball at 49%. There's the cutter. He likes to use the cutter quite a bit. We've seen a few curveballs. Much of the changeup. Basically saves that for the left-handed hitters. Mariners with just 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight.
One out here in the Mariners home 4th. Nelson Cruz. First career hit against Vogelsong. Now 1 for 4 against him. Pitch inside. Ball 1. Breaks that corner. 1-1. There you see it on the sleeve. World champions, Giants, 2010, 2012, 2014. Two and 1. Food poisoning for Seager, not playing. Stiff lower back for Cano, unavailable. 2 and 1. Being very careful. 3 balls, 1 strike. Vogelsong has struck out 3. That was all. We're all in the 3rd inning. Retired Ackley, Zunino, and Morrison, all uncalled strikes. No walks thus far. (3-1). And there's the first walk. Ends a run of 8 consecutive hitters retired. One out base runner for the Mariners and Seth Smith. Don't forget, stick around after the game. For Mariners post game, it's presented by Delta Airlines.
Seth with a fly out to left field, his first time up. Into the game hitting .375 against Vogelsong. 3 triples, or 3 doubles, excuse me.
Good road trip for Seth. He had 7 hits. Up high for ball 1.
Seems that he has just consistently stayed between that 260 and 270 mark this year. See the 5 home runs. There's a lot of doubles too. I think 17 doubles on the year.
Smitty and Cano at 17 among the league leaders. Tied for 4th in the league. Good count for him at 2-0. Takes a strike, 2-1. Mariners not particular as to who lights the spark, but somebody get one going here. 2-1. Time called. Mariners right now last in batting average in the league, next to last in runs, next to last in Major League Baseball in runs scored per ball game, 6th in home runs. Two and two. Giants meanwhile second in the National League in hitting, 9th in runs. 19th in baseball and scoring at 3.96 runs per ball game, 11th in homers in the National League, 2nd in on base, and 9th in stolen bases, 6th in ERA.
For Vogelsong tonight, he's really gone to work with the guys on with his fastball when he gets 2 strikes. And then he falls behind Seth 2-0. He comes back, gets a changeup in there, and now the curveball, even the count up. And there's the fastball again.
Smith strikes out. That's the first strikeout swinging tonight for Vogelsong. Total of 4 on the evening. You know, we were talking about Felix's worst outing of his career at Houston. We talked about him bouncing back. He certainly did last night. So when he's given up 4 or more earned runs, 6 starts, 6-0, lowered that ERA to 1.04. Opponents hitting a .49 and 35 Ks over 10 walks. That's some good stuff.
You can see it, just 4 hits over the 8 innings last night.
Caught him in the clubhouse, had the ice pack on his shoulder, and just sitting, resting comfortably in his easy chair in his clubhouse. I just went over, shook his hand. Nice job, my man. He had one of those tired but satisfied looks on his face, like, thanks, man.
He wasn't yesterday. He was electric in last night's game. A lot of fun to watch. See if Mark can get into one. Get the Mariners right back in this ball game with 2 outs.
Jumbo flied out to right, leading off the 2nd inning. 2 away with Cruz. He's been on base twice. The only Mariner base runner this evening. Cruz with a base hit and a walk. The attendance real good, 34,354. 2-0. Make it 3-0.
Turn him loose. Fred Miller waiting on deck.
Couldn't agree more. I think this will be what, his first Mariner green light. Takes a strike, 3-1. Two outs and a men aboard, a 3-1 count to Trumbo. Ball 4. Going to bring the tying run to the plate.
Put him in the stretch. He's not as comfortable pitching as he is pitching out of the windup. Brad had ground out his first time up.
Boy, those Pittsburgh Pirates, they win again, beat the White Sox 3-2, 8 consecutive wins, 21 of their last 26. They were 18-22 on May 20th. They're now 39-27. It's still, though, trailing the Cardinals in the Central Division. Strike 1 to Brad. Best threat of the evening so far for the Mariners. 2 out, 2 on. Inning started with Jackson flying out to center. Cruz drew a walk on a 3-1 pitch. Smith struck out on a 2-2 pitch. And Trumbo on a 3-1 count, he walked.
And one of the things that's noticeable with Vogelsong working at a pretty good pace out of the windup, but with a runner on, he gets really deliberate. Again, 2 walks here in this inning.
Texas playing at the Dodgers right now. No score. Top of the 5th. Here's the 0-1 to Miller. 2 on, 2 out. Oh, 1. Great opportunity here. 1-1 pitch. Fouled in and out of Suzak's glove. So now 1-2 to Brad Miller. Blomquist on deck. One ball, 2 strikes. Put it in play to Duffy at third. Zips it over to Belton. That threat dies here in the 4th. Mariners with no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. 3-0 Giants. right, a little empty nest action, huh? Thank you, Angie. 1-1 to Nori Aoki, leading off here in the 5th. Aoki, Panic, and Pagan, the top of the order. Aoki 1 for 2 with an RBI single to right. Last time up in the 2nd. That's this one, Ackley. And there's one away. We'll bring up Joe Panic, the second baseman for the Giants. He flied out to center and doubled down the right field line.
We'll see if Mike tries to keep the ball away from him on the double down the line. It was a pretty good fastball in the inside corner. He was able to turn on it and keep it fair. See Mike set up away on that first pitch. With Montgomery missing.
Jack, the last 8 men that he's faced. Nice little piece of work here. Jackson cruising back to get this. There's 2 outs. That wind really surging here. Going into the booth. Annie M. The papers are all over the place. Montgomery has certainly settled down. Unlucky on the double play that wasn't back in the 2nd. 3 runs scored. He has settled down nicely. Big breaking ball for a strike to Pagan. He's 1 for 2. One. 2-1. Make sure you join us over the weekend. Houston Astros in town. First place Astros. Mariners 1-2 against them here. 2-8 for the season. And another efficient inning for Mr. Montgomery. This will be a 9-pitch inning. He is really throwing well here. That's 10 consecutive hits. See if they can get the Vogelsong, who's lost his last 3 starts. Mariners right now in the short end. Sports being brought to you by the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. Hire smart and go to protectmyhome.net. By Vern Funk, bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. By BNSF Railway, sponsor the BNSF Blast. And by Volkswagen. Hurry in and get a deal during the Volkswagen Stop Dreaming, Start Driving event. Well, the Mariners have seen plenty of Vogelsong here tonight. Here's a guy that's lost his last 3 starts after winning 3 consecutive ball games. And He has pitched well here. Striking out 4, walking 2, and holding the Mariners to 1 hit through 4. Popped up and playable off the bat of Willie Bloomquist, second baseman. Joe Panik makes the play. 1 out. Here in the Mariners' 5th. The next BECU family night set for this Monday when the Mariners host the Royals at 7:10. Each member of the family, you can get a select view level seat for one low price. To secure those savings, better log on right now to Mariners.com and buy your BECU family night tickets right now. Dustin Ackley took a called third strike his first time up. That was in the 3rd. And Vogelsong struck out Ackley, Zunino, and Morrison all looking.
Dave, you were talking about Vogelsong losing 3 in a row. Kind of the way his season has been before that, the 3 losses. He had 5 starts in a row where he gave up a grand total of 4 earned runs over the 5 starts.
Strange game, this baseball.
It really is. And he struggled on the road this year. We talked about that, a 6.31 ERA, but he has things figured out tonight. 77 pitches, 44 strikes for him.
One. It's the outside corner.
Generous.
Very.
Yeah, that's off the plate.
High fly ball center field from Angel Pagan. 2 outs. The Astros coming to town. Their second visit. CenturyLink, what's next? Their pitching matchups. Lance McCullers, Ranis Elias, Dallas Keuchel. First time we'll see him this season. Look at those numbers. Taijuan Walker's pitched really well. He has come on nicely. And Vincent Velasquez goes against Jay Happ. Swing and a miss by Zunino, 0-1. Felix leads the American League with 10 wins. He and Garrett Cole, the only 10-game winners. Keuchel tied for second with 8 wins with Gray and Pineda and Carrasco. Oof. 0-2. Next up high. 1 point. Vogelsong retired 8 consecutive hitters. Right now Montgomery on a nice roll. He's retired 10 in a row. Second inning, the Mariners saw the Giants get 3 runs on 4 hits. Strike 3 called. That's 5 Ks for Vogelsong. 4 of them looking. He breezes through the 5th, throwing a 1-hit shutout. take you back to 2002 in the first MLB game that featured 4 players with 400-plus career home runs. Cubbies beat the Rangers 4-3. How about this? Sammy Sosa, the crime dog, Fred McGriff, Rafael Palmeiro, and Juan Gonzalez. Palmeiro hit his 460th in that game, and the game was decided on a walk-off home run by Gonzalez. His 157th career homer. Ball one to Buster Posey, leading off for the Giants here in the 6th. He's 0 for 2. Giants get 3 runs on 4 hits. Tough break for Mike Montgomery. A double play that Brad Miller, coming across the bag on the transfer, dropped the ball. They got the out at second, but the runner from third scored. And subsequently, RBI single by Aoki and an RBI double by Panic. 3-0 lead that still stands. Almost hit him. 4-pitch walk to Posey. Second walk by Montgomery. Ends his run of 10 consecutive hitters retired. Brings up Matt Duffy, third baseman, fly to center, ground out to second.
One of the things that we have seen from Montgomery, which I think is fairly rare, is he is not afraid to pitch inside.
For a young guy?
For his first time through, going through it, trying to figure things out, he will pitch inside. And that's something that you have to do at this level. Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble. Well, he does a pretty good job of keeping hitters honest. Really helps his changeup.
Eno going out for a work. 2-0. And thrown a strike.
I've seen that from him too. He'll have an inning or two in his outings where he'll lose it a little bit, but he's been able to make enough pitches where it doesn't hurt him badly. And look at Rick Waits talking to Lloyd McClendon. 72 pitches now for Montgomery. Nobody throwing in the Mariner pen.
With a strike, 2-1. High fly ball right field for Mark Trumbo. First out of the inning. Posey at first. Bring up first baseman Brandon Belt. Walked and scored. Also flying out to center. Good crowd of 34,354. A lot of Giant fans here tonight and last evening at 34,844. Game 2 of this homestand. Squibber off the bat of Belt. And he's safe at first. Slow roller. Tough to double him up. Do get the force on Posey for out number 2.
Brandon Belt, broken bat. So he hits this right off the end of the bat. You see splinters flying. No doubt that he has a cupped bat. As Dave mentioned, the ball was not hit hard enough to turn the double play. Good turn by Ackley though at second. One of those things, and I saw that he was going to be playing second. It wasn't a matter of whether the ball was going to find him, it was when and how often. And so far, he's been fine out there. Done a good job.
Gonna find him again here at the force. Nice job by Montgomery. Looked shaky through first 5 pitches for balls, and he gets out of the inning. Throws a total of 10 pitches in that inning. Got to get him some runs as Vogelsong throwing a 1-hit shutout. game changer for this evening. Boy, Ryan Vogelsong, he's lost 3 consecutive ball games. You'd never know it by the way he's pitching here tonight. And some good defense behind him as well. Joe Panic with a nice play there. And here's the shortstop, Arias. Wade Blomquist trying to make something happen, and Panic throws him out. Dustin Ackley called strike 3. And 5 strikeouts tonight for Vogelsong. As Morrison sends one to center field. Pagano's there. There's one out.
Common theme as you were watching that video, a lot of fastballs and a lot of fastballs on the edges of the plate, whether it's inside or outside. He's done a pretty good job of that. 84 pitches, 50 strikes for Vogelsong. Good job using his two-seamer as a cutter. It's been effective for him tonight.
Struck out 5, 4 looking, and walked 2. No runs on 1 hit, a cruise. Loop single to right. That was in the first inning.
And there's a cutter for a strike. Also mixed in a curveball and a changeup tonight.
Took something off of that one. Arias. Just breeze it right through the Mariners here. 2 outs in the 6th. Change up your commute. Take our online trip planner for a spin at soundtransit.org. Plenty of activity out in the pen. We're back around 4:30. Festive atmosphere with the defending world champions in town. Together since 1965. Congratulations. Beautiful. Mike, to me, 1965 seems like just yesterday. Good grief. It was like 7th grade. Man.
That's the year I was born.
Jeez. Here's Cruz. Only Mariner reached second base tonight. It's after he walked in the 4th. And then pushed to second by a walk to Mark Trumbo. Change speeds. Foul ball does not come back. Vogelsong in charge here, 1-2.
And starting to mix in his curveball a little bit more. Next pitch will be 90 for him. His season high as far as his pitch count goes is 110. He's only gone over 100 twice this year, 110 and 103.
Well, whatever ailed him over his previous 3 games, he has figured it out here tonight. 1-2 outside. Vogelsong has lost the last 3 games. Arizona, at Philly, and Pittsburgh. Prior to that, he won at Cincy, at Colorado, and at Milwaukee. Got a 2-2 count here to Cruz. Struck him out. 6 strikeouts for Ryan Vogelsong. Through 6, a 1-hit shutout. field. The golf performance instruction and club fitting simulator out in right field. Pretty good looking swing by that youngster. It's now open for every home game. Oh, he splashed in. Oh, bummer.
Were you able to hit the green today, Dave?
I got to try it. I put that on my to-do list for this homestand. Need Montgomery to hang another 0, and then the Mariners a chance to finally solve the problem that has been Ryan Vogelsong. Justin Maxwell, 1 for 2. He was involved in that double play that wasn't in the second inning. Single to left. They were able to get him on the foresight out, but then Miller dropped on the transfer and kept the inning alive. Had it been an ending double play, we might have a scoreless ball game.
I'll give him a lot of credit. After he was able to get out of that inning, he has really settled down and thrown the ball well.
Given up no hits since that second inning. He had a run of 10 consecutive hitters retired. On the evening, Montgomery has struck out 1, walked 2.
80 pitches, 50 strikes for him.
Again, back to what we talked about at the beginning. There's a lot of poise. He's had a couple of hiccups for Zunino's going out there maybe for the second time Rick Waits has been out. And all in all, I've been impressed. Texas playing at the Dodgers, scoreless ball game, bottom 6. Rangers have had some chances against Zach Greinke and have not been able to capitalize. Montgomery delivers ball 2 to Maxwell. Boy, he hung that one. Pays for it with a base hit. First hit since the second innings. We take a look at our Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. Those Astros, 40 wins. There's got some work to do. 40 wins, most in the American League, and second only to the Cardinals, who have 43.
See how efficient he has been. Just the second inning where he had to throw 28 pitches. Outside of that, he has made quick work of the Giants.
Slicing away from Austin Jackson, but he's got it under control. Well, he's fun to watch out there.
You could really see the wind take that from him, too. It's almost hit right at him, and then it just took a right turn, and you can see in our Alaska Supermo the concentration as that ball drifts away from him. Right there, he thought he had a beat on it and has to make a quick adjustment. Good play.
1 out, 1 on. Back to the top of the order. 4th time through. Nori Aoki. 1 for 3 with an RBI. But I got him picked off.
Well done.
2 outs. With 2 outs, nobody on.
And Montgomery doing the right thing. Covering first base after Morrison ran him towards second. Those rundown, it's always a good idea to get the runner running back to the base that he started with. And Mariners did a good job right there. I saw Bochy turn around and look right at Hensley Mullins on the bench there. And he wanted to know if maybe the Mariners had a sign. Hensley didn't think so. Another efficient inning helped by the pickoff.
kid has acquitted himself really well. 25-year-old left-hander. 3-0. Dave Niehaus would have liked this performance by Montgomery. And as you consider how a Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list, play today. Beautiful night here in Seattle. Glad you've joined us here in the Emerald City. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. Mariners' offense has really been silenced by Ryan Vogelsong, a giant right-hander, 37 years old. Came in having lost his last 3 ball games, and so far he has thrown a 1-hit shutout. First pitch strike to Seth Smith, leading off the home 7th. Vogelsong has struck out 6, walked 2.
Started Seth with his curveball, and that's something that he's done over the last couple of innings. He started to use his curveball a little bit more. For the most part, it's been his fastball command.
That one will get foul.
Comes right back with a changeup after the curveball, so off-speed pitches to Seth.
Trying to close the roof here. Must be rain right around the corner here. Mariners' best threat was in the 4th inning. Cruz walked, and after a strikeout for the second half of Smith, Trumbo walked. At first and second, Brad Miller bounced out to third. Here's the 0-2. Smith, Trumbo, and Miller 4, 5, and 6 here in the 7th inning. Mariners won last night's game. Now it's a treat. 2 aces going head to head. Felix Hernandez bested Madison Bumgarner. 1-2. Up the middle, Arias charges. Throws out Seth Smith. Time for the Big Fish Casino Big Catch.
Well, we saw Montgomery pick the runner off at first, and you might wonder why. Well, it's Mike Zunino. You take a look at him as he gets right. Here's the move. So not much of a move. They had something. I think Trent Jewett typically will give Mike the sign, and you'll see him drop this sign, pinky and index finger, and that's going to be for him to throw over. And that's exactly what happened right there. So the bench giving the sign to Zunino. Zunino will give it to the pitcher, and it worked out perfectly for the Mariners, cutting down the runner.
Strike 1 to Mark Trumbo. Trumbo fly to right will walk tonight. Coming in has begun. The shortstop Arias going back. Arias will make the play 2 away. take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Wrap up with the Giants tonight. Houston for 3, Kansas City for 3. Then a travel, stay in California with the Angels, San Diego, and the Oakland Athletics. That'll get us into July 4th weekend, and the All-Star break will be right around the corner. Quick 2 outs in the 7th. Brad Miller 0 for 2, ground out to short, ground out to third. Evening started off with the Mariners having to change the lineup, with Cano having to sit out with a stiff lower back and food poisoning for Seager. Shuffle things. We got batting order of Morrison, Jackson, Cruz, Smith, Trumbo, Miller, Blomqvist, Ackley, and Zunino. Ackley pressed into service at second base. Blomqvist at third. Roof in the process of closing here. 1-1 pitch. Some light showers over Puget Sound. Curious to see how that affects the U.S. Open as we move through the next couple of days.
Soften things up a little bit. A lot of you guys talking about the speed of the golf course today. That'll slow it down some.
2-1. Took something off of that and a base hit. Second of the night. First hit for the Mariners since the Cruz single in the first inning. Comes with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Brad doing an excellent job. It's a high changeup. Excellent job keeping his hands back as he drives it into right field. Vogel's on 101 pitches, 62 strikes. Again, his season high is 110.
Here's Willie Blomqvist. Ground out and a foul out.
Javier Lopez getting loose in the pen. Mariners saw Lopez in San Francisco.
Broken bat looper. That's going to be enough. Brad Miller will hold. Nice caught in between, and he's back safely. So Willie Blomqvist with a broken bat single. The Mariners have 2 men aboard, bringing the tying run to the plate.
Good fastball running onto the inside corner. Jams Willie, but he's able to fight it off and pick up a hit. This is the 3rd hit for the Mariners tonight.
Justin Eckley, a strikeout looking and a fly out to center. His night. Mariners threatening 2 outs here in the 8th with 2 on. 2 hits coming with 2 outs. Hunter Strickland joining Lopez, Javier Lopez. Now Bruce Bochy coming out and saying he's going to make a change.
Yeah, you saw the spin move from Vogelsong. Clearly he wasn't going anywhere. That is Miller at second base. They were just trying to buy some time to get Lopez a chance to warm up.
So Boch coming out to get Vogelsong, who threw a heck of a ball game, into the 7th inning. He's going to lead with a 3-0 lead with a couple of men aboard. 3-0 Giants. He was really something.
Excellent command of his fastball. Pretty good cutter tonight. Towards the end, started to mix in his curveball and his changeup more. His defense worked behind him. Although he did have 6 strikeouts tonight. There's a good fastball in the outside corner. Another one to Mike Zunino. All 3 of those strikeouts coming in the same inning. Strikeouts, all of them on the fastball. Pretty good work from Vogelsong.
Turn it over to lefty Javier Lopez. First pitch to Ackley, misses. Ackley representing the tying run. 2 outs here in the 7th.
0.96 ERA. 32nd appearance on the year. Opponents hitting just 102 against him. He is a specialist, and they're just to get the left-hander out.
It's the corner, 101.
Saw him in San Francisco. Does not throw hard. His fastball be in the mid-80s.
Lefty's hitting .056 against Lopez. Strike 2. Left-handers against Lopez are 2 for 36. One and 2.
Mark Lowe getting loose in the Mariners pen. Martin. He has really pitched well. He's been dominant at times.
Yeah, I was looking at his numbers. 0.92 ERA for Mark Lowe. There's a big pitch at 2-2 to Ackley with 2 on, 2 outs here in the 7th. Giants lead 3-0. Counts run full. Mike Zunino's on deck. Mariners haven't scored since the 6th inning last night. 3-2 pitch. Bounding ball right to Belt. He'll win the race to first base, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left, 7 complete here at Safeco Field. 3-0 Giants. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Good look at downtown Seattle. Picture for the Mariners not quite as beautiful as they're being shut out 3-0 by the world champion Giants. Top of the 8th. Joe Panik against Mike Montgomery, and that one down the line. It will get fouled. Tough break from Montgomery, giving up 3 runs on 4 hits in the second inning. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 innings before he gives up his next hit and erases that one on Maxwell, and he picks him off. Well, he's acquitted himself quite well.
Mark Lowe, who was up in the pen, is down. Tom Wilhelmsen getting loose now.
2-1. No play for Seth Smith. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Panik, Pagan, and Posey.
There's Tom. I'm watching Panik over these 4 games. It's one of the shorter swings that we have seen this year. He has enough pop in there. We've seen him hit some doubles. He has 6 home runs on the year. He is really short to the ball.
St. John's University, school that produced Frank Viola and John Franco.
Sergio Romo getting loose. A lot of sliders.
3-2. Backs up Jackson. Charged this up quite well, didn't he? 1 step from the wall. Catch by Jackson. Nicely done. 1 out. The roof closed. The wind not quite as much a factor as it had been for the early part of this ballgame.
No, that ball carried pretty well for him. Ended up getting a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Austin, knowing the wall was getting close.
For Angel Pagan inside. Ball 1. Angel 1 for 3. We always admire Jackson, watching him when he's with the Tigers. Great to have him here. Montgomery dealing 1-1 here to Pagan. Puts it up there, 2-1. Top foul, 2-2.
Posey waiting on deck. This may be his last hitter. Season high pitch count wise is 98. Did that in his last 2 starts. He's at 95 now. And you have Tom, the right-hander, ready to go in the pen.
Two. Seth Smith, long run, coming on, can't get it. Pagan will hold with the single.
Pretty good changeup right off the end of the bat. You can see how far out in front he was. And that will be it. Lloyd out of the dugout. I think he's going to make a pitching change to get Tom Wilhelmsen.
Snake bitten in that second inning. Kid pitched a good ball game.
He really did. No, he pitched well.
He has really shown well for the Mariners. 25-year-old left-hander getting an attaboy from his skipper. 3-0 deficit here in the 8th. 7 hits. He just didn't get any offensive help. But the young left-hander, boy, he did a nice job tonight after one rocky inning.
His longest outing of the year, going 7 1/3. You mentioned the 1 inning. Very easily could have been out of that inning.
Absolutely.
And after that, though, you have to give him a lot of credit. He settled down. Giants weren't able to do anything else with him. Excellent job of mixing up his pitches. Good fastball inside. Started to use his changeup. Occasional curveball. 7 1/3. Longest outing of the year. 7 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, 2 walks, just 1 strikeout. He threw 96 pitches, 60 of those for strikes. He is responsible for the runner at first.
Tom Wilson takes over. His first hitter is Buster Posey.
17th appearance on the year for Tom, a 3.26 ERA, 22 strikeouts in 19 1/3.
Hit well down the line. Hooking foul. Boy, they give that one a ride. One out, one on here in the 8th inning. Giants all 3 runs in the 2nd inning. RBIs by Arias, Aoki, and Paddock. Posey fouls it back 1-2. By Zunino, 2-2. Posey straight away and deep in the outfield. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and fouled back.
I think he would have had a pretty good jump from Pagan. Another good pitch from Tom right in the outside corner at the knees.
Here's Bochy with Hensley Newlands. That one's the batting coach. Here's a 2-2. Pagan back with a dive. Two balls, 2 strikes to Posey. Sound below a double play ball right here. Two. Pagan runs, pitch, fouled off again.
Turning into a pretty good battle. The 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Decent lead for Pagan. 2-2 pitch. He holds. Posey takes ball 3. Full count. At Duffy's on deck, the third baseman. He's 0 for 3 tonight. perfect spot here. 1 out, 1 on, 3-2 pitch to Posey. And ball 4. Tom walks his first batter. Giants threat. First and second. 1 out.
Matt Duffy walking to the plate. You have Brandon Belt waiting on deck. Joe Beimel getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
He did go. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1 to Duffy. That's a lot of trouble. Fair ball. Pagan, he scores. Posey right behind him. A 2-run triple, Matt Duffy. 5-0 Giants. Duffy, his 9th double. RBIs 30 and 31.
Slider away, and he goes with it right down the line. Take a look at the swing by Duffy. Boyd McClendon out of the dugout. He's going to make a pitching change.
RBI, 2 RBI triple. And that hurts. Giants now lead 5-0. Kids, here's your chance to get a baseball cap designed just for you. It's Mariners Kids Cap Day, courtesy of Aquafina, this Sunday at 1:10 when the Mariners wrap up the series with the Astros. All kids receive a unique Mariners cap, not available in stores. So for your tickets, go to mariners.com. So Will Humpson has an unsuccessful appearance, a walk and a 2-run triple. Brings on Joe Beimel.
17th appearance for Joe, 3.31 ERA. 16 and a third, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks, opponents hitting .207.
He's got Brandon Belt. 1 out, runner at third. Drawn in infield. Fifth man to the plate here in the 8th inning.
Giants haven't had a lot of opportunities tonight, but when they've been able to get them, they've cashed them in. 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
2 RBIs for Duffy, 1 for Arias, Aoki, and Paddock. And Joe behind 3-0. Andrew Susak, the catcher, on deck. Strike 3-1. Pitch to Belt, and he walks. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Bullpen so far ineffective. Walk, 2-run triple, and a walk.
Nobody getting loose in the Mariner pen, so it will be up to Joe. Guys off the field. So we get a double play ball right here.
First pitch to Suzak. In there for a strike. Yeah. 0-2. No runs on 3 hits. Meanwhile, the Giants 5 runs on 8 hits. Hunter Strickland ready to enter the ball game. Runners at first and third, and just 1 out. Bimal is ahead of Susak, 0-2.
Joe will keep changing speeds, and right now he's trying to get something sinking away from Susak. Ground ball.
1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What Joe has here, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at the corners. Line drive, base hit, 6-0 Giants. Duffy scores. Moving up to second, Belt. RBI for Suzak, his 4th.
And the Giants now 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Joe was able to get the ball down. Unfortunately, it's in the middle of the plate.
Suzak in the RBI parade here. 2 for Duffy in the inning, and now Suzak go along with Aoki, Paddock, and Arias. Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second. Bouncing ball. Miller. Bagley for 1. Safe. So they erase Susak. Over to third is Belt. 2 outs, runners at the corners again.
Not sure that Dustin was able to get a good grip on this. Wasn't able to get anything on it at all. Good job by Morrison to make the play at first, not let it get past him.
That'll bring up the 8th man to the plate here in the 8th inning. It's Joaquin Arias. Back in the second, the Giants sent 8 men to the plate, scored 3 times on 4 hits and left 2. Strike one. Sure has not been pretty here in the 8th. One pitch. Slow roller, gonna stay fair. Bloomquist has no play. Another run scores, 7-0. Arias' second RBI tonight.
Well, he's playing back as he should be, and this is just a swinging bunt. No chance, no play at all. Will be an infield hit. Giants now 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Ouch. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. Top of the order, Aoki, 9th man to the plate here in the 8th inning.
Nuno's starting to get loose in the pen for the Mariners.
Strike one to Aoki. A long inning. A strike to Aoki. It started well enough with Montgomery getting panicked right out the center, but been an offensive show since then. Here comes Jackson. Plenty of damage done. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 left as 9 men come to the plate for the world champion Giants. They lead 7-0. Filipino Heritage Night recently in San Francisco. Giants paying homage to Tim Lincecum, their right-handed two-time Cy Young Award winner. There he is. His mom is Filipino. Handed out bobbleheads that night. It's Filipino Heritage Night here this evening at Safeco Field, with fans sporting the blue t-shirts. Many of them were in the upper deck down the left field line. Two huge innings for the Giants. 8 men to the plate in the second, 9 in the 8th as Hunter Strickland takes over.
His 12th appearance, ERA just over 3, 14 strikeouts and 11 2/3. He can rush it up there. He'll be in the mid to upper 90s. 14 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Opponents hitting 250s. You have to give up a home run.
He's going to get 9 1 and 2. Zunino, Morrison, and Jackson. Strike one. Zunino struck out looking twice. From Strickland. 2-1. Mariners have 3 hits on the night. Cruz in the first. Then in the 7th inning, got a 2-out threat. Singles by Miller and Blomquist. That's it. Brian Vogelsong, 6 2/3, a 3-hit shutout ball. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Strickland, the third pitcher. Lopez at the final out of the 7th inning. Three and 1. Went with 96 to get a second strike. Three and 2 to Mike Z, leading off here in the home 8th. Have a base runner here in the 8th inning. That's only the 3rd walk issued by San Francisco pitching tonight. Top of the order, Logan Morrison. Almost 0 for 3, ground out the first, strikeout looking, and a fly to center.
Mariners will take the walk, but I can tell you Bruce Bochy not happy about it. You're up 7-0. I'd rather see you throw that good fastball in there, throw strikes.
Pitch. See a visit for. Here comes. No, he's not coming out. I thought it was Dave Forgetti coming out. Catcher is going out there. Souza.
8 pitches, just 2 strikes. Mariners, be patient. See if he can find the strike zone. If he wants to help you out, take it.
Two-0 pitch to Morrison. He's not close. Like you said, take it.
You need as many base runners as you can get. He's going to help you out. Stand up there.
He's walked the first 2 men that he's faced. A 7-0 lead. Much to the chagrin of the veteran manager Bruce Bochy. Brings up Austin Jackson. He's 1-for-1 against Strickland.
Nobody throwing in the Giant pen. Pitches, just 2 strikes.
Time called by the catcher, Suzak. There's strike 1-1. Jackson can get a hold of one. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out to second, fly to center, ground out to short. Line 2. Nothing Giants. 2 big innings. 3 runs second, a 4-run 8th. 1-2 to Jackson. Missed. 2-2. Pitch. Struck him out. Had him in 96. No way.
Good fastball right at the top of the strike zone at 96 miles an hour. It's tough to catch up to it.
They had 1 for 2 with a walk. To Cruz. Cruz hitting at 345, runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs with a homer and 11 runs knocked in. The numbers there, 7th inning or later, 2-0. Next strike, 2-1. Throwing hard, 97. Just got a piece of that, 2-2.
He's topped out at 98 so far.
Texas and the Dodgers, no score in the 9th. The only other game in progress. 2-2 to Cruz, 2 on.
There's 98, top of the strike zone.
On 10 hits for the Giants, no errors. They've left 5. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Mariners have left 5. 2-2. Counts on full. Seth Smith on deck. Ready, 3-2 to Cruz. There's a double play, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up. Giants lead it 7-0. On the Mariners for a 3-game series. It starts Monday at 7:10. BECU Family Night. Wednesday the 24th. You'll score special pricing. The Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Package. For tickets, visit mariners.com. Now Nuno takes over for the Mariners. Their 3rd man out of the bullpen tonight.
This is his 5th appearance for the Mariners, a 1.80 ERA in 5 innings. He has 6 strikeouts, yet to walk a batter. Opponents hitting just 188 against him.
Joe Panik will be his first batter. Panik, Angel Pagan, and Buster Posey. Giants in the 8th. Sent 9 men to the plate, scored 4 times on 4 hits, and left 2. Panik with an RBI double back in the 2nd inning, 1 for 4. Two and 1.
We've seen it. Nuno, one of the guys out of the pen, he will get it. He's ready to go again. fastball in the low 90s. Mix in a slider with it and a changeup.
Bloomquist charges. Throws out, panic, run away. Houston Astros coming to town for the second time this season. 2-1 for the previous visit. Century Link, what's next? Here's your pitching matchups: McCullers and Elias, Keuchel and Walker. First time we're seeing Keuchel this year, having a fabulous year. And Velasquez goes against Jay Happ. Taijuan Walker been on the come lately. Been some good ball games. First pitch strike to Angel Pagan. He's got 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4 with the run scored. Cano out with a stiff lower back. This and Felix Hernandez. Two and one. Two. 2-2 to Pagan, Giant center field. Oh, there's a violent swing. He goes down hacking.
Able to get him to chase a fastball well out of the strike zone around his shoulders.
Buster Posey, strike one. Jeremy Affeldt, veteran left-hander, getting ready. One. Field. Easy play for Trumbo. And Nuno has a nice appearance in the ninth. Last stops for the Mariners: Smith, Trumbo, and Miller coming your way against the veteran Jeremy Affeldt. Jeremy Affeldt had a good run in the postseason last year for the defending world champion Giants. He takes over, and he's going to face Seth Smith, Mark Trumbo, and Brad Miller.
This will be the 30th appearance for Affeldt. 4.95 ERA in 20 innings, 11 strikeouts, 9 walks. He's been real sharp this year. Only hitting .305 against him, giving up 4 home runs.
Affeldt out of Phoenix, Arizona. Went to high school at Northwest Christian in Spokane. 14th year in the big leagues. 7th year with the Giants. 5 in Kansas City, 2 in Colorado, 1 in Cincy. That'll get down for a base hit off the bat of Seth Smith. And for the Mariners, their 4th hit of the evening.
Well, inside out swing. It's a fastball down and in. He's going to pull his hands inside out swing, hit it the other way.
Here's Mark Trumbo. Breaking ball, missed ball 1. Affeldt with a good run in the World Series last year. 4 games, 5 in the 3rd innings. 3 hits, no runs. Trumbo ahead in the count here, 2-0. To Mark. 0 for 2 of the walk this evening. Affeldt, the 3rd reliever used by Bruce Bochy. 3rd of an inning for Lopez, a rocky 1 inning for Hunter Strickland. And 1. Loser in last night's ball game and duel with Felix Hernandez. Hit hard into center field. Base hit Mark Trumbo. And the Mariners have the first 2 men aboard here in the 9th.
See if they can take advantage of it. Had the first 2 hitters on in the 8th inning. Weren't able to score, but Trumbo picks up a base hit right back up the middle. Did a good job. That ball down out of the strike zone. He was able to stay with it.
Miller looks at ball 1. Brad 1 for 3 tonight. Base hit to right. Back in the 7th inning. Miller 0 for 1 against Affeldt. First strike. 1-1. And 2 strikes to Brad.
Sergio Romo getting up again. Been up a couple of times in this one.
Breaking ball and a good one. Swing and a miss by Miller. Affeldt with a strikeout. And there's one away with 2 on here in the 9th inning. There's Willie Bloomquist, 1 for 8 career against FL.
Willie 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit his last time up.
Time called. Monday, the Mariners won 5-1 at San Francisco behind Taijuan Walker. Giants come back on Tim Lindsay, come to win 6-2 on Tuesday. Felix, 2-0 winner last night. The Mariners, big hill to climb here in the 9th, down 7-0. Did not go, says James High. 2-0. Runners at first and second. Pitch to Willie. It's a double play. And that's your ball game. So the Giants and the Mariners split their 4 games this week. And this one, a ball.